guys, so after we've gone over all of this information on grammar over this last week, we're going to start by writing the easiest type of paragraph to write. And this is probably something that you guys have done before, but it's definitely helpful to recap it. We're going to talk about how to write a descriptive paragraph. So a descriptive paragraph has these goals. You want to create a vivid image for your reader. You want to help your reader to see your experience as you did or do, or you want to allow the reader to connect emotionally with you by replicating the experience as much as possible so they can feel it as you did or as you do. Your primary strategy here is going to be to use your five senses. Description or imagery are terms that are used to describe anything that appeals to the five senses, and this helps to replicate the experience so that the reader sees it the way you do. And the five senses, in case you need a reminder, are sight, things you can see; smell, well, things you can smell; taste, things you can taste; hearing, things you can hear; or touch, how things feel. So you want to start by analyzing the prompt. There are going to be certain keywords that you'll see for certain types of writing. And for descriptive writing, they tend to be describe, show, tell, explore, illustrate. So you might say, tell me about the best day of your life, or explore an experience that was important for you, or describe the most important object in your room. All of those will tell you that what you're looking at is more than likely a descriptive prompt. Then you want to develop a topic from that prompt. And so you want to ask, what is this prompt asking me to describe? Because it will be asking you to describe something. And what are some of the first things that come to mind when I read the prompt? Both of those are going to be good things to help you kind of get some ideas before you even actually do any real writing or pre-writing. Then it helps to develop a topic sentence. I know it seems backwards to develop the topic sentence before you actually start figuring out the bulk of the paragraph, or it does to me, but in this case it actually works really well because it gets you that starting point. So what you're going to want to do is reverse the prompt. So let's say the prompt is describe the most important object in your room. To reverse the prompt, you just start a sentence with the part of the prompt that doesn't have the signal word or the keyword, the most important object in your room. And then you add a verb, is blank. And you'll create another blank after that, because blank, because you want to tell the reader why that is important to you. So to kind of go into a little bit more detail, sometimes I use the word thesis statement when I'm talking about paragraphs. Topic sentences and thesis statements are the same at the paragraph level. The thesis statement will be something different at the essay level. But for a sample paragraph, which I'm going to work with and show you how to do throughout this presentation, the most important object in my room is blank because blank. So we'll fill in the first blank with the name of the object and the second one with the reason that it's so important to you. And you'll see what that is for me in just a moment. Then you kind of want to choose some evidence before you go any further, just so you kind of have some details to draw from and you can mentally arrange them. So it helps to just kind of make a list of any sensory details that you remember, even if it's just a quick bulleted list. Some guidelines I know were helpful for a lot of people. So it generally is a really good idea to list at least 3 details you saw, 2 you heard, and 1 each that you smelled, tasted, or felt. And that'll make sure that you cover all of the senses and give a holistic sensory experience for your reader. So let's look at an example. So the prompt here is describe the most important object in your room. So for my topic, I said the most important object in my room is my guitar because it symbolizes my divorce becoming final and the start of a new life. So then I came up with some details. It's a Cordoba Classical. It has mahogany back and sides with a cedar top and a black fingerboard. It's about a 7/8 size, slightly thin fingerboard. Nylon strings sound warm. The polished wood feels good against my fingers. And the nylon strings are soft and don't create calluses. So we have a lot of details here that appeal to the senses. Then you write the exposition, which is that middle part of the paragraph. And the best way to do this is to use a structured approach. So you'll start by choosing a detail from your list, then you'll introduce that detail, present the description, and then talk about why it's important. And you'll repeat that set of steps about 2 or 3 times to get the number of sentences needed for the 12 to 15 for your paragraph. So example, my topic sentence here. The most important object in my room is my guitar because it symbolizes my divorce becoming final and the start of a new life. So my subpoint 1 was appearance. And to introduce that, I say, to me, the guitar personifies warmth. And then presenting the evidence. The back and sides are made of mahogany and are a soft red brown. The top is cedar and is a slightly brighter, more orange tone than the rest of the body. The fingerboard is nearly, but not quite, a warm black tone. And hopefully you can kind of envision what this guitar looks like from these details. You can kind of see it in your mind. So then I'm going to take my next set of details, which have to do with touch. So I'm going to introduce and present it. It's a 7/8 size, which makes it a little smaller than a normal classical guitar. So that's introducing the evidence. Now I want to explain why that's important. So the curve of the body fits nicely or neatly against my thigh when I play. And then the next one, I kind of combined the introduce, present, and analyze into one sentence, but they are in the right order. The gentle polish on the neck is soft and smooth against my hands. So that's introducing and presenting the evidence. And the nylon strings create just enough resistance to be rewarding, but are not painful. And again, I introduced and presented, then I explained why on all of them. And then it's a guitar, so it would make sense to talk about the sound, so we'll talk about hearing. Introduce, but what I love most is the warmth of its tone. Present, when I pluck the strings, there is no tinny quality and it sounds almost sweet. So I'm telling you how it sounds. That's presenting the evidence. And then I'm going to explain why it's important. It reminds me of a lute or another classical instrument from hundreds of years past. From there, we're going to talk about the transition sentence, which is to analyze the analyze step in the paragraph as a whole, but it's basically where you want to sum up your points and tie them back to the because back up in your topic sentence. So here, my topic sentence is the most important object in my room is my guitar because it symbolizes the divorce becoming final and the start of a new life. My main points were the appearance, the feel, and the sound. So I want to kind of include those in the transition sentence if I can. So then taking these and putting them together, I get this transition sentence. My life with my ex-husband was cold, but the warm colors, soft exterior, and sweet sound of the guitar I bought when the divorce was finalized remind me that that part of my life is over and better days are ahead. So I take this, the divorce being final, that's down here, and I combine it with the main points that I made in the paragraph. The side appearance, the feel, and the sound. And then put those together, I get my transition sentence. Transition sentences are badly named and often badly taught. Your goal with it isn't to introduce the topic of the next paragraph. That's what you do in your next topic sentence. Your goal is to just close up what you've said in that paragraph, give the reader a sense of closure, and help them to move on to the next one. Paragraphs are thoughts. They are collections of thoughts, and you really only want one train of thought per paragraph. So if you start introducing a new train of thought in the transition sentence, it can be confusing for the reader. This is a pet peeve of mine, I apologize, but a lot of teachers try to have students introduce the next paragraph in the transition sentence, and that's incredibly difficult to do, and it's generally not effective. So I like to go in and kind of correct that because a lot of students do end up having trouble writing transition sentences as a result of that instruction. So that brings us to the end of how to write a descriptive paragraph. I'm about to do the module walkthrough, but you will see that there is an example paragraph in there as well in your assignment for the descriptive paragraph. So you'll be able to kind of look at that, and that should help you walk through what you need to do for this assignment and how to do it. Best of luck with it. These aren't really all that hard. They're a lot of fun. This is you getting to tell me about something that matters to you. So enjoy it, and I look forward to reading them soon.